All right, everybody, welcome back. Get ready, because today we are diving deep, deep into the world of one amazing bird.
Oh, I love this one.
Yeah, you know them, right? The Northern Crested Caracara.
I do. Such a cool bird.
Seriously, these birds, they break all the typical falcon stereotypes.
You're telling me.
If you think you know falcons, well, get ready to have your mind blown.
Yeah, we're going way beyond just the basic bird facts here.
Like, wingspan and all that. We're talking about behavior range.
Diet. We're going to uncover some really surprising things about these guys.
Yeah, I think by the end of this, you'll be looking up to the sky a lot more often.
Hoping to catch a glimpse.
Right. Okay, so first impressions. When you see a Northern Crested Caracara, what's the first thing that hits you?
Size. Definitely size.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
these birds are big,
Huge E.
like up to 25 inches long.
Yeah, I looked it up. They can have a wingspan of over 50 inches.
That's like, what, 4 feet?
Yeah, it's incredible. So
Yeah.
not your average robin, that's for sure.
No, and it's not just the size, it's their look, too.
No.
They have this striking black and white plumage.
Yeah, it's bold, right?
And then there's that crest, that crazy shaggy crest on their head.
Yeah, that's like their signature look.
It is. But here's something even cooler.
What's that?
Their faces. You know how they have those bare faces?
Yeah, no feathers.
Well, those faces can actually change color.
Wait, what? Their faces change color. Like a chameleon?
Kind of. It's not for camouflage, though.
So what's the deal?
It can be linked to their mood, sometimes their age. The skin can go from like a pale yellow to like a reddish orange.
Wow, that's wild. So like if we could do that, imagine walking into a meeting and, your face is bright red because you're stressed.
Meetings would definitely be more interesting.
Right. You know exactly what everyone was thinking.
Exactly.
So where in the world can our listeners actually find these like mood ring birds?
Well, they've got a pretty impressive range, actually. Yeah. They're found across a huge swath of the Americas.
Okay, break that down for us.
So think from the southern U.S.
All right.
all the way down to northern South America.
Wow. That's a lot of ground.
It is. And the cool thing is they're not picky about their habitat.
Oh, so they're pretty adaptable then.
Extremely adaptable. You can find them in grasslands,
Okay.
deserts.
Deserts, wow.
Yeah, even agricultural lands. Basically anywhere with open space where they can, roam around.
And find food.
Exactly.
So if you're on a road trip, keep your eyes peeled.
You might spot one
You might just see one hanging out.
perched on a fence post.
Totally. Now, okay, let's talk about this nickname they have, the scavenging falcon.
Ah, yeah.
Doesn't that seem a little, I don't know, counterintuitive?
A bit, yeah.
I mean, when I think falcon, I think,
Aerial predator.
yeah, like swooping down,
Speed.
catching rabbits in their talons. But scavenging.
Well, the caracara definitely marches to the beat of its own drum.
Okay, so explain this to me.
All right, so most falcons, you're right, they hunt. They catch live prey.
Yeah.
But the caracara, they've got a different strategy.
Which is
carrion?
carrion, so they're eating.
Dead animals. They're nature's cleanup crew.
Wow, it makes sense. It's efficient.
Super efficient. Why waste energy hunting when there's a perfectly good meal already, lying around?
Right, so I'm picturing them like along roadsides.
Well, for sure.
Or near water.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
looking for an easy meal.
Exactly. They're opportunistic eaters, that's for sure.
Okay, but doesn't that put them in competition with other scavengers, like vultures?
It does. But they've got some tricks up their sleeve.
Oh, like what?
Well, for one, they're not afraid to get aggressive.
Okay, so they'll fight for their food.
If they have to, yeah.
Oh,
But they also have this fascinating behavior called kleptoparasitism.
klepto. What? Break that down.
Okay, so klepto, as in kleptomaniac.
Stealing.
Exactly. They steal food from other birds.
No way. Like right out of their beaks.
Sometimes, yeah. Or they'll chase them off and steal their catch.
That's incredible. It seems like that would require, I don't know, some serious intelligence.
No, it definitely does. They're very clever birds.
So, not your typical falcon.
No, not at all.
Now, all this scavenging, this carrion eating, makes me wonder about how they actually find their food.
Yeah.
Because they're not soaring around hunting like other falcons.
Right.
So how are they finding these, meals on the ground?
Well, they've become masters of ground foraging.
Okay, so they're not just flyers, they're walkers too.
Exactly. They're strong walkers. They can run, too.
So they cover a lot of ground.
They do, which helps them find those, hidden carcasses and stuff.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So ground level foraging, that really sets them apart.
It does.
Now, what about their social lives? Are they loners? Do they hang out in groups?
Well, they can be solitary, especially when food is scarce,
Okay.
but they also form pairs, obviously, for breeding.
Right, of course.
And they can form larger groups, too, especially if there's a lot of food around.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Safety in numbers and all that.
Exactly. And while we've been talking about their walking and ground foraging,
Yeah.
they are strong flyers, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they can actually soar quite gracefully like other birds of prey.
I get that's a sight.
Imagine a group of them circling overhead.
Wow, that would be amazing. Now, thinking about all this scavenging, it makes me wonder about their nests.
Yeah, good point.
Where do they raise their young? Because, it doesn't sound like the most hygienic environment.
Right, well, they're resourceful, these birds.
Okay.
Their nests are these large structures made of sticks,
Okay.
often built high up in trees.
So good protection.
Yeah, keeps the nestlings safe from predators.
Smart. And both parents, they share the responsibility of, raising the chicks.
They do, yeah. Incubating the eggs, feeding them, protecting them.
That's great teamwork. So final question. How are they doing out there in the world? Conservation status?
Well, the good news is, overall, the Northern Crested Caracara population is stable.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah, but like many species, they do face challenges.
I imagine habitat loss is a big one.
It is, definitely. And in some areas, they are considered more vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like in Florida, for instance, they're listed as a threatened species.
That's a shame.
Hmm.
It just goes to show even adaptable creatures like these guys, they're not immune to human impact.
Exactly. Everything's connected, you know?
Well, we've learned so much about the Northern Crested Caracara today.
They're fascinating birds.
They really are. I mean, they break all the rules.
They defy expectations.
Totally. So they're scavengers, but they're also clever.
Resourceful?
They can soar, but they also walk and run.
And they're surprisingly social.
It makes you wonder, what other secrets are they hiding?
Right. There's always more to learn.
And that's what makes nature so incredible.
Absolutely.
Well, on that note, we're going to wrap up our deep dive into the world of the Northern Crested Caracara.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, we hope you learned something new, and maybe, just maybe, you'll see one of these amazing birds out in the wild someday.
Keep your eyes open.
And until next time, keep exploring.
See you then.